Good morning, children. So today we are going to see new chapter, that is diversity in living organisms. Okay. So first we can see what is meant by diversity. Diversity means a presence of different organisms in the same ecosystem or geographical location. Okay, so this earth is full of organisms of various shapes and size. Yes, so diversity means presence of different variety of organisms in the particular ecosystem or geographical location. So diversity gives a chance for a balanced ecosystem. So ecosystem means there will be interaction of living things and non-living things. As there is a variety of living organisms in the earth, there is a balanced ecosystem maintained in the earth. Okay. So in animal kingdom alone contains million species. There are variety of plants also. So even from small grass to tall eucalyptus trees. Okay, so this variety in living beings is called diversity. Now, in this chapter, we are going to see about classification of living organism. As there is a variety of living organisms, we have to classify the organism in order to study their similar characters and dissimilar characters. Okay, so need for system of classification. Why there is a need for system of classification means because of the variety, huge diversity means as there is a variety of living organism, there is a need of a system of classification. So there is a variety of living organism which makes to become very difficult task to study each of them one by one. So we should classify them. So to make their study easier, animals and plants are made into groups and subgroups. Understood, children? So why we are classifying the living organism? As there is a variety of different millions of species in the living organism, it is very difficult task to study each one of them. So to make their study easier, we are classifying animals and plants into groups and subgroups. So first classification of living organism is done by Aristotle. So Aristotle classified animals according to their living environment. Living environment means where they lived. Okay. So according to Aristotle, he classified living organism into two. They are terrestrial animals and aquatic animals. So what is mean by terrestrial animal? The animals which are living in the land. Yes, and aquatic animal means the animals which are living in the water. Okay, but this classification have drawback. So disadvantage of Aristotle's classification is both in sea as well as on land we can find animals and plants, but there are very small animals like seahorse along with large animals like whales. So this was not a good basis of classification. Okay, so there is variety of living organism, they are having a different characteristics, different habitat. So only classifying the animals into two types, it's not a good basis of classification. So this is the disadvantage or drawback of Aristotle's classification. So now we will study about basis of classification. So after Aristotle's classification, organisms are classified based on the presence or absence of nucleus in the cells of living organism. You know, cell is the basic structural unit of all living organism. All living organisms are made up of cells. Yes. So based on the presence or absence of nucleus in the cells, organisms are classified into two types. They are prokaryotes and eukaryotes. Okay, so what are the two types of organisms based on presence or absence of nucleus? Organisms can be classified into prokaryotes and eukaryotes. Let us see what is meant by prokaryotes and eukaryotes. So what is meant by prokaryotes? Prokaryotes means those organisms which have cells, okay, which have cells without well-defined nucleus. Okay, so as I have already told, based on presence or absence of nucleus in the cell, we are classifying organism into prokaryote and eukaryote. Prokaryote means they have cells which do not have well defined nucleus. They are called prokaryotes. Now, what is meant by eukaryotes? They are opposite to prokaryotes. Those organisms which have cells with a well defined nucleus are called eukaryotes. So presence of nucleus and membrane bound organelles give better efficiency to the cells of these organisms. Okay, so eukaryotes means they have well defined nucleus. U means true nucleus. Okay, pro means they have false nucleus. They do not have well defined nucleus, so they are called prokaryotes. Eukaryote means these organisms they are having a well defined nucleus, and presence of nucleus and membrane bound organelles give better efficiency to these cells. Now, another basis of classification is according to the number of cells in an organism. Based on the number of cells in an organism, living organism can be classified into two. They are unicellular organism and multicellular organism. Unicellular means, in the word itself, uni means single. Okay, so these organism having single cell, and in them the single cell is responsible for carrying out all the functions to maintain the life. Okay, so unicellular means organism having single cell. And next is multicellular. What is meant by multicellular organism? Organisms having more than one cell. Multi means many. Yes, so organism having more than one cell. So because of more number of cells, there can be some division of labor to gain more efficiency. That means division of labor means division of work. Okay, so as they are having many cells, some cells grouped together and will perform a particular function in the body. Okay, in multicellular organism. So multicellular organism means organism having more than one cell. Understood, children? Now, based on mode of nutrition, organism can be classified into two types. They are autotrophic nutrition and heterotrophs. So autotrophs means the organisms prepare their own food. They are called as autotrophs. So example, all green plants are autotrophs. So how they are preparing their own food? They are having a pigment called chlorophyll in green parts, which facilitate the photosynthesis process. So what is meant by photosynthesis? Preparation of food in the presence of sunlight. Yes, with the help of the pigment present in their green part. What is the pigment present in the green parts of plant? Chlorophyll, which help to prepare their food with through the process called photosynthesis. Okay, so first based on mode of nutrition, organism classified into two types. What are they? Autotrophs and heterotrophs. Autotrophs means they can produce their own food. Then heterotrophs. What is meant by heterotrophs? Organism. These organisms will depend on either plant or animals for their food. They cannot prepare their own food because they don't have chlorophylls. So example for heterotrophs are all animals, fungi and certain bacteria, protozoa belong to this group. Okay, so example for heterotrophs is animals, fungi and certain bacteria, protozoa. Now, based on the level of organization in body, organisms can be classified. So, in multicellular organism, which are small like Hydra, they are having a particular group of cells to perform a particular function. Okay, but in larger organisms, this group of cells together form a tissues, and these tissues group form an organ, which in turn make an organ system. Okay, so in multicellular organism itself, based on their organization in their body, as the Hydra is very small, they have a particular group of cells which will perform the specific function in their body. But in larger animals, group of cells form tissue, and tissue grouped to form an organ, and organs together form an organ system which will perform a specific function. For example, in human being means reproduction, respiration, digestion. So these all function is done by the organ system present in the human body. So even in larger plants, there is separate root system for conduction of water and minerals, and leaf for photosynthesis, and flowers for reproduction. Even plants also, they are having a separate root system for conduction of water and minerals. And based on these characters, organism can be further classified into various subgroups. Okay, based on their level organization of their body, organism can be classified into various subgroups. So now we are moving to taxonomy. What is meant by taxonomy? It is the branch of science that deals with the classification of organisms. So in this chapter we are going to study the taxonomical classification of living organisms. Okay, so taxonomy means it is the branch of science which deals with the classification of organisms. We will study about the classification of organism in this it is called taxonomy. So now hierarchy of classification, that means levels of classification. Organisms are arranged into groups or levels according to their similarities. So in taxonomical classification, organisms are arranged into groups or level based on their similarities. So as we go up the levels, the organism have lesser similarity, and some organism will be having a more similarity. Based on that, we can classify organism into different groups or levels. Here is the level of taxonomical level of classification. It is life, domain, kingdom, phylum, class, order, family, genus, species. These are the levels of classification. Okay, so first one is life, domain, kingdom, phylum, class, order, family, genus, species. So now we are going to see about binomial nomenclature. Nomenclature means naming of organism. So Carolus Linnaeus is a Swedish botanist and physician who is called as the father of taxonomy. So who is called as father of taxonomy? Carolus Linnaeus is called as father of taxonomy because he is the first person who introduced the binomial nomenclature and laid the ground rules which paved way for modern taxonomy. So what is meant by binomial nomenclature? A method of naming organisms in taxonomy. So how we will name the organism means it has two parts. The first part in the naming of organism is first is the genus name, which is written in capital, and the second part is the species name, which is not capitalized. Okay, so genus name, the which is written in capital, but second part is the species name, which is not capitalist. Okay, so based on the binomial nomenclature only, the modern taxonomy has been framed, which has given many scientific names to the living organisms. Okay, so we can see briefly about the binomial nomenclature and classification of living organisms in next class. I hope that you all understand about today's topic. If you have any doubt, you can ask children. Thank you.